Welcome back back again to another episode of the Feed from Geek Mountain podcast, a podcast where two black nerds show love for all things anime and video games while showcasing. I gotta start over. Damn.
Well, we're already streaming now.
Oh, we're streaming. Oh, well, showcasing minorities and disadvantaged groups around the world. It is us. We're back again. Sure, you can hit me with the random open. But yeah, I always get nervous when I have to open. Why? Do I need to stream more? What is the key, Shoryuken? Why are you so comfortable?
I don't know. Maybe you just suck. Just practice in the mirror or some shit, dude.
Practice in the mirror. Anyways, well, we're back again with another episode for you guys. You know how we always start this off. We talk about, what we've been watching and or playing, because some people, they do multiple things in a week. Fine. Watching or playing. Anyways, so what have you been watching or playing? Sure you
can. So I watched the third episode of Platinum End. That was pretty good. It's pretty good. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I'm caught up. Me and
Dude, that show was solid. That show was solid.
Yeah.
Yo, when old girl was like, I don't know, like, what do you think about Saki? I feel like there's something wrong with her. I feel like there's something like terribly wrong with her.
I think she is a part of something that she doesn't want to be a part of. And she definitely did something. Like, she was either gonna kill herself or she just found no.
Well, everybody did.
Yeah,
everybody. All 13 have.
It's either you try to kill yourself or you have no hope at all, and then that's when an angel appears. That's what they said. But yeah, so I'm assuming, clearly something like bad happened, but like she doesn't want to be a part of this. I feel like, granted, I don't know, man. I feel bad for what's the main character's name? Kakahashi? Is that his name?
I don't know. Mirai?
Mirai? Future. Anyways, yeah, no. I don't know how to feel about her. I haven't really. There's not much to go on. She kind of is like playing innocent, but not really, because she hit that man with the red arrow, like quicker than a heartbeat. But I don't know.
She was though too, yeah.
And she was gonna go along with her angel until his angel showed up and like put the brakes on it. Like, she wasn't gonna. I mean, she did say stop him or stop it, don't go. But before the angel showed up, though, he was dead ass about to like walk out the window and like leave and like try to go fight the Power Ranger one.
The Power Ranger one.
I forgot what his name is. He's supposed to be like a play on a Sentai character.
Metropolis.
Metro. I can't even say it.
Chipotle. There you
Chipotle.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's just wild, dude. The whole thing is just wild as hell, honestly.
Yeah. And you can see the similarities to Death Note too. Like, the obvious one, he has an angel that only he and other people with the ability can see.
There's a lot of similarities, yeah, especially with all the rules and whatnot.
Yeah, he's definitely the main character is definitely way different than Light, obviously. Light is super intelligent. I don't know how smart Kakahashi is. They don't really talk about it too much, but I mean, I guess we're gonna see when he's starting to get into the deeper parts of this game to become God. But
he's like, man, I just want to live an ordinary life. Leave me the fuck alone.
Right. He's like,
and then you drag Saki into it.
Not even like a normal life. I just want to be happy. That's it. I just want to be happy. And it's crazy how he remembers what his mom told him, like literally right after his aunt. Dude, in that scene too, like, talk about way to throw you off, like thinking like she's about to like cut down onto the husband, but she puts the knife up into the air and she just stabs herself in the neck, and you're just like, whoa. Like, me and Jazz, we both were really like shocked. Yeah, that caught us off guard. It made me like, I have a thing with knives, man. I feel like being stabbed is like worse than being shot. So like, I don't know, man. It just that's personal,
that was rough. That shit was rough. But
did not expect that.
We're gonna see. So far, it's been wild. I want to see what's gonna happen with the last episode or the next episode, obviously, because all the superpower rangers are here and shit.
Yeah, I was like, wait, aren't they supposed to be like on the same side or whatever? What do they
I
call
don't
it?
know.
Metropolitan or something like that? Metropolitan? Something crazy.
Metropol man. Some shit, yeah. And
The
then he was like, "Pole."
and then I nah, the way he killed that man was bogus. But yeah, it's definitely interesting how he's using his powers though to like come off as like a superhero, and
Yeah.
the public is kind of
the L. See the L?
The L
of the series.
Oh, is
He's
he
trying
the
to
L in the
outsmart
series?
everybody. Yeah, he's trying to get everybody to come on out.
I wouldn't even
catch
say
these hands.
I wouldn't even say L. He's just trying to get this over with. He's like, look, I think I can beat everybody here, because clearly his angel's holding like, bro, I'm
Well,
clearly
like the main thing is that like everybody's gonna die, without their shit. Whoever's chosen, it gets to live, but everybody else dies at the end. So, because they get their wings and arrows removed,
right,
supposedly.
and he died.
So
If that happens.
I'm like, so Saki gonna have to die.
Yeah. Well, if he becomes God, then clearly he can do. I'm assuming.
Maybe.
I don't know, because these angels.
Know.
First off, these angels are. First off, let's quotation marks on them. Angels. Because I ain't never seen no angel with a red halo and red eyes before. Or be depicted that way. And like the way she's like so cool with like him. He's like, hey, look, go kill the kids and the dad and take the insurance money for yourself.
Neon Genesis Evangelion, those angels.
Oh yeah, those are some wild angels. But yeah, I don't know, man. And it seems like the person who's the current god right now, he's like trapped. Like it kind of seems like if you become God, you're becoming a placeholder for this person that's there.
No, I think they have like a time limit. I think they do this every so often. They choose a new god.
Right, but like where he's okay, yeah. I mean, I guess they haven't shown much about him, but like the one time they did show him, he was like in a circle, but like in another circle, and it kind of looked like he was in like contained. It's like he's stuck there or whatever. And so I'm like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like this is gonna lead to anything happy. Like you're going around killing all these people, and you're gonna get the perfect lifestyle afterwards. Absolutely not.
No, I mean, because you'll be God afterwards. So just like,
yeah.
like I don't know, dude. It's supposedly they're all in Japan. I like how they explain that shit too.
It's all in Japan. Hey, that's funny that they did address that though, because that's a common question. Like, so, like, what about like other places? Did anybody else like a Death Note couldn't, like how in Death Note you're like a Death Note couldn't follow in America? Like it's all in Japan. Word. But yeah.
But it's funny. So I like they're crossing their eyes, dotting their T's or whatever. Whatever the fuck. So what about you, Jakuz? What you been watching or playing?
So real quick, I just been playing Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Who are you playing as, the girl or the dude?
I start off with Yuito, and based on like how fast I get through his portion, I don't know if I'm gonna run through. I got to see how his story plays out, if it's worth going through hers, because I'm just assuming that you just play through the parts that she like, because their stories like run together like pretty well. So like, they get split up. Like for what I've experienced so far, like I'm only in the third phase or something like that. And her sister just got murked. She got turned into one of the others or whatever, and I was like, damn. But yeah, I'm assuming that you'll just play as her and like go chase after and see like her conversation with the head people. Clearly there's something going on. I feel like the people who are like running the show are the ones behind this, clearly, because it's like, oh, is she taking them little tablets, that are making her powers stronger? Like, nah, that's turning her into a fucking monster. I tell you what. But yeah, there's clearly something going on. But I'm enjoying it so far. I can see the elements they took from Persona. like, you know, giving people gifts and like doing like little stories and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I like that in my
I like
games.
that. Yeah,
Um,
I think that's a nice addition.
yeah, the combat is really good. The only negative I could really say about it is it's kind of floaty. Your character is like really light, and
Like
sometimes
Sora, like Sora floating.
no, it just like faster than what you would expect when you're like attacking and stuff. So like sometimes when I'm
Oh yeah.
attacking an enemy, like when you're locked on, you really have to like control your character. Like it's not an auto like, oh, if you're attacking, you like Tales of Arise, like how when you lock onto an enemy, you're like pretty much like if you attack, you're gonna stay in front of them pretty much. But like with Yuito, bro, I'd be doing like combos and like be zipping around and still swinging in the opposite
Oh
direction. So I just had to get used to combat, but it's been a lot of fun
yeah.
though.
It takes a while. Like I went the combat route or the combo route. My bad. I went the combo route, so I went to get more attacks in and how to like lengthen my combos more in my skill tree. Until like I found like a decent like pseudo infinite basically, because it'll just like kill them. And once you get there, man, you're like a god. Like you're just like pot tot tot up in the air, tot tot slash tot tot slash, and then it gets wild, dude. The combo potential in that game is crazy.
No, the combos are fun, like tying in the psychic abilities with it too.
And then
like
psychic abilities too. Yeah.
Switch them from the one where you can like the L2, which is where you like let's say you grab a pole and you'll start spinning them around. Dude, that does so much damage to bosses. First off,
dude, I was like, yo, that shit is like OD, and it's just like fun to do because I like I really do like quick time what's it called? Quick time attacks? Quick
time events.
Actions.
QTEs.
Quick time events. Yeah. QTEs are so much fun. We need to bring that back.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
so glad we brought that.
That was like one of my just like a shout out real quick. It was like one of my favorite elements of Resident Evil 4. Like the quick time events. Cause that made it so like you're still engaged because you're like, bro, I could die in a cutscene. Like, all right. Well,
yeah.
And then like I feel like with Kingdom Hearts, it was like it was there, but it was kind of superficial because it was like you can't get a game over screen for messing up a QTE. It's just you take some damage. There you go.
But wait until, and then you also get, it's kind of like Persona in a way too, where like the more you talk to your homies,
their powers get stronger too.
Their powers get stronger. Yeah, they get stronger, and then you still gotta gear them too. But also you get more cool abilities to use for them. So that's what I really like about it. Like, okay, now this incentivizes me to actually do something that's not part of the story.
Right. No, and I see what you're saying with the similarities between Scarlet Nexus and Tales of Arise. Yeah. Funny enough, they're both made by Bandai Namco. But I see the similarities where you can like, you don't, in this one you just play as Yuito the entire time. You don't ever control your teammates. You know, you can give them directions and stuff like that, but it's not as in-depth as Tales of Rise. But I do like the ability to take their abilities and use it. I just hope it gets to a point where I can choose what characters are going to go into my party, because like them controlling that, it's like, damn, I really would like, I forget what his name is, but homie can make the armor and like you take no damage. Yeah. I love that, bro. That shit is like OP.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, yeah, this shit is OD. Yeah, no, you do get to a point where you have to use everybody's abilities, basically. So to kill enemies, that's what you gotta do.
I'm seeing early on that it's smart to use the ability during the portion where you're supposed to use it and then turn it off. Like
oh yeah, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard to like get used to too. Yeah, that's advanced tactics.
Yeah, combat seems kind of basic at first, but it's very nuanced. I'll definitely say that. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only in phase 3. Can't wait to see where it goes.
Did you get to the Ultra Instinct part? Did you get alter ego or whatever?
You mean like Sora's little dark mode where you get that mask or whatever over you?
Oh no, you didn't get to it yet. Okay.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. He. I mean, it's not like a huge spoiler, but yeah, he gets like an Ultra Instinct form. So it's like that, but it's like times a billion.
Oh, okay. So it's stronger than that. Because dude, when I get that thing on, I'm like, oh, it's time to go. It's time to go in.
I didn't really use it that much. I just like really just using combos. But there's a skill tree portion where you can max that out too, and then that gets more shit. But yeah, you'll see it. But it's
I
dope.
mean, I figure you couldn't max out your skill tree in one portion, so I've already planned out what I'm going to do and what I'm going to buy. I would assume. I mean, I can look it up after this and figure it out, but
I think you can. Because there's so much you can do in the game too.
Yeah,
and then,
I've collected all
enemies
these missions
respawn.
and stuff, and I'm like, I haven't done a single side one yet. They just keep popping up. I'm like, golly. I mean, it's actually not as bad as Tales of Rise though. Tales of Rise, they're like, hey, bro, we need, and then they be telling you, hey, I think someone's yelling our name. They ain't talking to me. They are not talking to me.
But cool. Yeah, no, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think I don't know how many acts there. There's a lot. That game runs on a little longer, but not longer to Tales, but a little longer than you expected to.
It's I always check out howlongtobeat.com. And it says the average time is 25. So I figure I'll probably finish it in 30 because you know me, I be Dora the Exploring and doing side quests and stuff.
I don't think there's any bosses that was like really too hard either, which is really nice. But they are a challenge, so I would say that.
No, yeah, I'm playing on
good at the game.
I'm playing on hard too, so like you take damage.
You take damage. But oh my goodness. But let's get to the main topic. Go ahead, bring us in.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about if you've read the title, you probably can see that it's 2 Year Eternity. The Japanese name Fumetsu no Anata. We're going to be talking about that. It's an anime that me and Shoryuken both watched this past year. I think Shoryuken actually watched it as it was airing.
Yeah, that was painful.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like it was. I mean, I don't know, man. Watching the episodes back to back is not good for your mental either. It's very stressful. I definitely have to say. But anyways, so
pros and cons.
So 2 Year Eternity follows the story of an orb dropped onto the earth by a mysterious figure who is also observing it. The orb is capable of capturing the reflection of many things and changing in response.
You write this out?
Yeah, I wrote my stuff out. Yeah, I got notes today, boy. I came prepared. Hey, tell me that's not a good synopsis. Boy, you wasn't even listening. Anyways,
so random orb gotta live out his life, basically. That's pretty much it.
I mean, live out his life. You can't live out immortality.
I mean, you could. Technically, he's just living. He's just living. I don't know. It's hard to like
an endless race unless the knockers kill him or something like that. Like
take all it's hard to nail down. Like you really do have to explain the story a little bit in depth with this one, which talks about how complex the series is so far, especially because there's another season. Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
And I'm gonna need it. Surprised that this is a shonen and not a seinen. Very surprised. I mean, I always gotta point that out, but it's for a shonen. The story's pretty good.
This is really good. So what, like, I think the one thing that stood out the most in this anime out of like every other anime that came out this year was the animation, and I think the animation is something that like we touch on a lot, but like we don't really touch on like how like complicated it is. So they call it like I think in Japanese they call it sakuga, which is basically the way we use it is basically animation. Mm-hmm. But like the way like the transformation and like the healing process, all of, like the blood and stuff from Fushi himself, the main character, or I guess itself technically. Yeah. It looks amazing. Like you have to animate every single frame of the transformation, anything, healing, all the bone structure, the muscle structure, all that. And it's not just like a slideshow. It's not a Hero no Sora we're talking about over here, but every time, especially when it's like big stuff like the bear,
Yeah.
is that's next level. That's next
I
level
I had to look
animation.
this up because the first anime I see is Mob Psycho, so that's pretty cool to know. But I didn't know like this is a type of like style, like type of
It's
style of
just like
animation.
it's just like the it's not a style of animation, but you can use it to say
Oh,
so
to
like
put emphasis on a scene, right?
yeah, kind of, yeah.
So real quick, because I just looked it up, but it says here it's a term used to describe or used in anime to describe moments in a show or movie when the quality of an animation improves drastically, typically for the sake of making a dramatic point or enlivening the action. That's funny. So that pretty much explains when I be talking about, oh, they put some money into the budget right here. I'm talking about Sakuga. I'm literally talking about Sakuga. That's so funny. Because I remember I would say that about like, the first time seeing a Naruto and Sasuke fight, and it's
Yeah,
like all
Naruto
loose
Sasuke
animation.
fight.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, they spent some money here. But that's pretty cool though.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's really interesting out of all the anime that really came out this year to really appreciate all the hard work that was really put into the animation. For like just from everything from the fight scenes to transformations, everything like you don't really think about it when you look at the transformation. It's just like some whirling shit, but like all that whirling shit is
It's
like
drawn.
frame by frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's wild.
Dang,
That's
that
so wild, and it
actually
happens a lot in the anime. It's not just like a few times.
no, yeah, it happens like damn near like at least, and this is like by the bare minimum once every episode, but it's definitely more than once every episode.
So, but like, yeah, what did you think about the characters so far? I know they kind of have like mini arcs in the series.
So uh so the characters we're introduced to are some of the more nuanced characters I've seen in a shonen anime, I have to say. What's interesting about the characters is, outside of Fushi, each character in the show is only in 3 or 4 episodes of the show. Like no one is really like a permanent character besides Fushi and the Man in Black and kind of Piron.
Yeah, there's some overlay. There's some overlay
there's definitely
later
some
on,
overlay, yeah.
but
But yeah, no, the characters are great. What's hard, like, we're not in the spoiler portion of it, but like you're definitely gonna get attached to some characters, and there's gonna be some
oh
characters
yeah,
that go.
this isn't
Um,
a happy show.
it's definitely not.
This ain't no happy moment. Like,
And I preface that to say this might not be for everybody. Like if you, because it was kind of hard for me to get through those first like six or 8 episodes, because like you're introduced to so many characters, and so many characters, like not so many characters, but like a few of those characters that you might get attached to are like they're gone. And it's like, dang, and it's like a hard realization too, because you're like, nah, there's no way. It's a shonen.
yeah,
It has a
it
shonen
really
label.
does. It really does draw on emotions. It definitely, you definitely feel a lot from this anime. And it even more so because of how like real it feels too,
Yeah, definitely.
and then how like how raw like this isn't like modern-ish times. I would assume this is like, I don't know, you don't see near your cell phone, like
No. Oh yeah, this is definitely like taking place during, I feel like, what would be like the Edo period, I guess. I don't
yeah,
know.
this would be like, yeah, this
Like
is olden times.
it's taking place in a time where a village that is like up to date and current can literally manipulate another village that's living in like the past, essentially. That's the kind of time that they're living in, where like this village don't have no information outside of like what this other city is telling them. But yeah, no, the characters, I think Yoshitoki, that's the creator of the show, which, fun fact, she also did silent voice.
Yeah, there's a lot of good names. Oh yeah, we have to appreciate all the good names in this anime.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
everything that takes part is just like all the good shit in life is in this anime. We got Utada Hikaru on the opening song.
Oh, Yutaru,
Fire.
she never misses. Never.
Dude, that is like the best opening song of the year.
Yeah,
That
me
is
and
like
Jazz.
you cannot beat that.
Jazz is always skipping the openings, like after seeing it a couple times, but like we would let that ride because it like really gets you into it. It's just
over here pumping and shit. Dude, I was in it.
It was also like it was that with the animation that's going with it. I really like the use of the pink colors and the crystallized like kind of showing like Fushi's memories, those like fragments of his memories and stuff like that.
In the opening, my god, because like although it kind of has this sense of like, oh yeah, it's reusing elements from the show, but no, that's actually like memories.
That's his memories.
Actually, and so it would only make sense to show that. It's wild. It's a wild opening from top to bottom. It's amazing. We got
put a pin in the opening. When we get to the spoiler section, we definitely got to come back to the opening because there's something in there that I want to talk about that I called like before getting to the last episode. But yeah, go on with what you were gonna say. My bad.
I think on the music we got Fate Grand Order, which is really awesome. Hi, Cat.
What's up, Hogs?
So we have Fate Grand Order on the music. Like with the animations by Brain Base. Brain Base did Baccano. Which is one of the few other anime that has an immortal character as well, when they also heal themselves, which is really interesting.
They got a bunch. They got a bunch of immortal characters in that one.
Oh yeah. I didn't want to say too much, but yeah. So it's really interesting how they got like all these pieces together, and obviously we got in my opinion, the greatest voice actor of modern anime right now. We got Kenjiro Suda on The Beholder, who is the deity / god / like who the fuck is this guy exactly / narrator.
Yeah, he does. He doubles as the narrator as well as an active character in the show, which is pretty funny.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, doesn't he? Who else does he voice? Because I think I saw a picture. Hang on, I know I have it actually open in my phone. That's funny.
Id Invaded. He does the main character. Id Invaded.
He's Overhaul.
Oh, Hans. Yeah, Overhaul.
He's Kaiba. He's fucking Seto Kaiba. This man is Kaiba. Man is Seto Kaiba. There you go.
I can see that. I don't think I watched it in Japanese. What do you want from me? Sorry, I'm sorry, y'all. My cat is just like all over here. If y'all listening to this, then y'all don't see the cat. But if y'all watching this on YouTube right now, y'all, there's a lot of cat action happening currently. So what else can we say non-spoilery?
So just going back to the characters real quick, because I never said what I wanted to say, but the creator, she has a good job of grounding these characters and making them very relatable. Like, like we know, like, and especially too, like with the little time that we spend with these characters, we get to know like what their like dreams and aspirations are, and we get to know them, and they spend a lot of times like even though we don't get much from the actual story, because all we really know from the story is what Fushi is immortal, and this dude dropped him on Earth to experience it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean we don't know that, but like this dude dropped this guy onto the Earth. That was kind of a spoil. My bad, guys. I guess dude dropped him onto the Earth, and he wants to watch him. And then we also see this man getting attacked by things from time to time. So we're like, we don't really know anything, but we just see like his journey. So I'm assuming that season 2 is really going to get into like the actual nitty gritty of this stuff. But yeah, I don't really know what else we can talk about that isn't spoilery, so I guess we can go into spoiler territory.
All right, spoiler alert, let's go. Spoiler alert. All right, y'all had y'all chance. Okay, so man, oh man. Sorry, what you want to talk about the opening about? You said what about the opening you had called out?
Oh, so the opening. I called that the girl walking on the beach with the headband and purple hair. That was Pioran, because I was like, we still haven't, like, before the last episode, I was like, we still haven't seen her yet. And I'm like, that has to be what's her face, because she's hanging out with Fushi, and then she's also like going through dementia. essentially and about to die, and she knows of the like black the man in black, and I was like, yo, there's some way she's gonna come back to life, like either she's gonna turn younger or something. And then like that last episode, he literally came in and was like, she was just like, yo, I know you're there, and if you are there, like help me out, I want to be useful to Fushi, I want to come back.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Man,
enough time with him.
That was so sad.
It was
this whole series.
It was torturous because it was the literal definition of a roller coaster, because you have your high moments, like your time with Fushi and Gugu, which is like one of my favorite parts of the story, their relationship. And then you have your moments with like Pioran and Fushi, which is pretty funny. And then even like with March too, like one of my favorite characters, I have to say, at the beginning of the show. But yeah, man, it's definitely rough. So I don't even know where do you want to go with this.
So I mean, we can start
so
from the beginning, really, like with the story. Like,
so
I didn't know where this anime was gonna go. I was like, I first looked at it like from the beginning, from like the first minute. I was like, yo, this is about to be an isekai. I'm about to check out right now.
I mean, it's technically, it was dropped into a world.
But I don't know. And then I was like, and then with the whole like the boy and the dog.
The boy and
people say it's a dog, but that's a wolf, man.
No, yeah,
that shit was big and spiky.
that is definitely not a dog. First off, that is definitely a wolf. They even say it's a wolf, didn't they in the beginning? I feel like they said wolf.
They said it was a dog.
It's a dog. The dog's name was it Yoan? But they couldn't tell us the boy's name.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of messed up. But like that episode just takes you through so many emotions. That first episode, like when you meet the boy and he's like optimistic, and like, you find out that his whole village went in search of land and he had to stay behind with like the old people, and the old people passed away and he's still there. And he's like kind of debating to himself, like, should I stay or should I go? And so finally he does go. And bro, when he fell into that ice, after like finding like the graveyard of all the people and stuff, and then he fell into that ice and he had that little cut in his leg, I was like, it's a wrap.
Oh yeah.
I was like, it's a wrap. I was like, yo, Dog Chan, you about to be him.
So I'm like, I'm sitting here like, yo, are we gonna find his people? I'm like, I'm pretty sure his people is like Dunzo.
And that's what I said. Like, bro, no one came back. But yeah. They really make you feel for him. That first episode, the first couple episodes definitely had me in tears a few times. I'm not gonna lie.
100%.
But yeah, then Fushi, he travels on, and the crazy part with Fushi is that he doesn't know anything at all. He doesn't know that he has to eat to sustain his forms, and he's like, as he's walking and going on the rest of the journey with the boy, after the boy passed away, and he's like turned into him. He's like essentially walking in one direction and dying when his body can't sustain anything, but then he regenerates over time. And it's funny too, because they say like it happened so many times that he became way faster at regenerating after dying. Like at first it would take him like a week or something like that, and then it was like 2 days, and it was like like an hour pretty much. And then and then he was like walking as a boy, and they were like the details like they were giving, like he essentially like soiled himself and stuff because he didn't know any better. And I'm just like, oh man, like I didn't know his body would work as like when he copies something, he copies it like you that. But yeah, I think it's interesting that he copies things like verbatim. Like he always has that bloody patch on his leg from when the kid fell into
and it's always there. I was thinking about that too. Like I always think about that. Like every episode, like every time he turns back to the boy, he's got that bloody leg.
Yeah,
and it's the detail is there still. It's wrapped up and it's bloody. It's the wildest shit. So
what was the first? Oh no, go on. My bad.
No, I mean, I just think it's wild. Like we're not really seeing like a plot. Like there's no overarching thing except the knockers, right? And then the
Yeah.
only other thing that we know is that the beholder or the deity, we can call him like God for now. We only know that God is basically stating that he's here because I think he ends up saying like he has to preserve humanity or the earth or some shit.
Yeah, so yeah, we know Fushi's purpose is to preserve things on Earth essentially, but we don't
Yeah.
know the why. So it's like it kind of seems like, yo, does Man in Black know something that we don't know? Obviously he does, because clearly
Obviously he does.
he didn't just drop this man into here just to experiment time. Like,
Well, kind of. That was the rough part, right? Yeah, he does say that like he is pretty much only here to observe, right? Only
yeah,
to observe Fushi, and watch him grow. But although then he also gives him like hints or whatever too. So he has like this
not even just
very
give him hints. He's very involved. He be literally telling him like, yo, knockers are 500 meters to the north. And that's how him and Pioran was like getting around and stuff like
he
that.
tells him that, but I mean, he's not like God ain't going out and about the all right.
Well, yeah, no, he's
know?
not. But I mean, he's giving him help in the way that he can. I feel like maybe
he's telling him if he wants to go in that direction too.
Yeah.
Like, this is up to you. Like, you can do whatever you want, but I'm like, some people about to die.
Yeah,
and
I guess
you don't like that.
I do like that. This isn't like he's not just like, bro, you gotta do this. He's like, yo, you can live your life however you want to live your life. That's fine. But what I suggest here is that you get a little bit stronger because there's these things that are coming after you. But it's like, bro, can you explain why? Like, you gotta know why these things are coming after him. So like now that he's a little bit more sentient, I would have thought they would have had like a little bit of a conversation, now that he has a sense of self and like knows better and stuff. I would have thought that the deity would have already had spoken to him like, yo, this is what I know. So clearly, I don't know, maybe he isn't God. Maybe he doesn't know what's about to happen.
We know he has the power to a rebirth at the very least. So he must be very much godlike.
Right. I gotta say the one thing I don't want to. Okay, the one thing I did like about Fushi was that he was very, even though he was like a orb that can transform into like anything. I did like that his powers were kind of realistic. Like if he turned into a bug, he has the mind of a bug, so he has to avoid turning into those kind of things.
Oh yeah,
because his mind, like he doesn't have a human mind, so he's not as intelligent. I guess I don't want to call animals stupid or anything like that, but like. Like when he goes into those forms, like he essentially his thinking is like more animalistic. It's not like him thinking like his normal self. And I thought that was like pretty interesting too, because like it made sense in like certain scenes when like he loses to the knockers again, and it's like, well, I guess he's back in his animal form too, and he hasn't been training either. So I'm assuming like if he trained, maybe he'll have like more, because he can't talk as a dog sometimes.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man.
Yeah. I think it's really funny too, like how he picks up speech like later in the series too.
Yeah, he definitely has a slow growth.
Yeah, but then eventually, like he does like build up from it. Spending all that time with Gugu.
Yeah,
I thought that was really interesting because like he hasn't. I think he was there for like how long? He hasn't transformed once. He was growing a beard and like
it was at least like 2 or 3 years and like
height. Yeah, he was taller.
But then like when he transformed back, he's like back into like the regular one, that was definitely like really interesting. So like it makes you think he'll live his whole life out as that person. So it's like, can you not transform back into that point in your life? So because that's kind of messed up. But yeah, I did like his relationship with Gugu. Gugu was like the one who had the most. So like March,
dude,
essentially
that whole arc for Gugu
that whole arc was
man,
crazy.
That shit hit.
So before we get into that, like I would have to say March is like what instilled the human aspect into Fushi, and then not the human aspect, but just made him more like sparked his self-awareness essentially, and made him because she was the first person that he actually got mad over like dying, and you know
Yeah.
that sensation like triggered, you know, a change in him and stuff like that. But then you get Gugu, and Gugu like pretty much taught him how to be like a normal person essentially. And I mean, you know, living with them too as well, so you can like blend in and stuff.
Like hardworking and cooking.
Yeah, give him like basic life skills and stuff. And you know, that that did bother me a little bit, because it was like, bro, you need to train. Like it's been like 2 times already where knockers have come and taken your like, and that's the interesting part too. We didn't tell people that, but the knockers, when they fight him, they take his forms, and when they take his forms, it takes his memories away. So if he loses form, he loses memory of that person, and like, um, you know, he gets his shit back like all the time, like as soon as he kills a knocker. Because there was one time where like a knocker like took something and it left, and then came back like a year later or something like that, and I was like, yo, he didn't kill that thing the last time, so it still has his form, right? And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, yeah. Like at one point, it didn't revert this man back into a rock. Like it took all of his forms. That nigga was a rock,
so.
and he had to.
It was rough. It was rough for this dude. Fushi had a truly a rough life. Yeah, if I were to rename the show, the rough life of Fushi.
No, for real though, because even like we didn't even talk about like the main antagonist, or I guess you can call her the main antagonist, but Hayase.
Yeah,
how they took her, and then they were experimenting on him, and it was just like, when that man was like, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. You're just like, oh no,
bruh, that show was rough.
It's very stressful.
But then she was trying to make some babies.
Yeah, she was trying to clap cheeks with him, and it's like weird, and it's like, she infuriates me because she's one of those characters that makes absolutely no sense, and she just does things as like, she's just a chaotic evil, you know, and like how she kills Pia. What's her name? It's like Pia Perona. She kills Perona off screen first off, and I'm like, really?
Damn, yeah, dude.
I was like, really?
To be fair, we're looking at his life, his perspective, so we don't really get like what the fuck the other, you know, what's going on in the other world, right?
Yeah.
So, or like not another world, but like in another land,
right?
But the way she was retelling the story of it, right? It's just like, yeah, I like they're fisticuffs in a stadium, and she's like, yeah, do I have to say it again? I killed her, and it was like, yo,
yeah, and that's at the point where you realize like, oh snap. Well, no, because at that point he has Gugu, right? Yeah. No, never mind what I was going to say. I was going to say because he transformed into her, and then, you know, that's like a realization, like, oh damn, she is dead.
Yeah,
and it's like that cements like, oh, if this person dies and Fushi met them and they had some kind of impact on him, if they die at any point in time, like no matter where they're at, he can like transform into him. So like if he ever gets memories of these people and stuff like that, I guess. Or no, never mind that part. But anyways, but yeah, so if he transformed, he knows like they're dead, which is kind of crazy. I was gonna say like he gets their memories and stuff, but like obviously he would have the memories because they already met them. It's not like when they die, he gets more memories or something like that. Had to stop myself there. Side note, they gave the dude has a name, the deity. It's Kansasusha. I don't know. It translates to Black Hood, I guess. It's literally, that's how what they listed as
Black Hood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Black Hooded dude, but yeah.
The man in black.
He could be the narrator, but it's just like the way it just moves through the story. Like everything feels like it's on like a nice little arc, but then you start to really like later on you start to realize that like things are actually blending in, and it's becoming like a big story now. We're getting like older characters coming back.
Yeah, I kind of would have wanted just a little bit more for this season, because it kind of just did feel like there's no real like plot. We're just watching Fushi's journey, which no problem with me on that. But when you have like the knockers attacking and stuff, and you can't really explain like why they're attacking, just know like, oh, they're just trying to, hey, they're trying to steal your shit.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that it makes us, I think it's, I hate to say it, I think it's for the immersion effect. You know, we are living Fushi's life, so we see
Yeah.
everything in Fushi's perspective. So we are just like the orb in a sense when we come into the series, and we
Right.
have to learn and also remember things that's happening that he's also experiencing. So while the black-headed man could probably tell us, he's not. You
Right.
know, is it super important to know what they are about? I don't know. We just got to get rid of them, basically.
I would say that's subjective. Because like for me, I would like to know like a little bit more about the knockers, and I thought we would get some more of that this season. But it's not
Mhm.
it's not to say that it's a knock on the season, because it's still a phenomenal season. I had a good time
Yeah.
watching it all the way through, and I'm definitely looking out for that second season. But I just thought there would be a little bit more. But this all felt like a setup, and I feel like season 2 is going to get like really into the thick of it.
It's about to be heavy as hell.
Yeah.
It's going to be even heavier, right?
Well, no, maybe
So,
he'll be stronger, and
are
he'll
you
be
going
able
to
to
be
protect
stronger?
people. Yeah, bro. Like when he was like fighting and able like to make like the weapons like out of nowhere and stuff, I was like,
Dude,
he
I
gonna be
was like,
badass. And he can
oh,
do
I
it.
was
He
like,
can. It
no
seems like he
fucking
can do it
way.
endlessly too. Like he doesn't get tired.
Yeah, like he was like, yo, y'all need arrows? Here's the arrows. And giving everybody arrows and shit.
Making no, that's an understatement. Making explosive arrows,
Oh, yeah.
bro. Just like here's an infinite amount. Like ridiculous.
That was golden. That was a golden moment. Because he could use whatever he wants, but it's really how how can he use it, and
Yeah.
what characters are fit to use that item too. So
A little side note: I like how people are grossed out when he makes food, and they're just like, oh, should we be eating that? Like, wait, ugh. Like I know
I think it's,
Shorty, little dark skinned Shorty was like, should we? And everyone else is like fucking chowing down,
oh
eating it like it
yeah.
was slop. And then
Yeah, they were. Yeah, like Gugu's, like the people that he was with, like they were really struggling. Like Pioran, obviously, the old dude. They weren't like, man. When food came out, bro, they had to eat that shit because that shit was not common for them. And they were working. They were working people. Like
yeah,
people were in the fields
Pioran was actually
plowing.
a criminal, wasn't
Oh, yeah,
she?
she was a criminal. Yeah, she was a criminal.
Oh,
So
Prison Island. That's the one thing I have to say though. Like by the time we get to Prison Island, I kind of got desensitized to all the death, and I was like, when they
oh
introduced
my
all them
goodness.
kids, I was like, you dying, you dying,
I was like, these kids ain't
you.
dying. I was like, nah, these kids ain't
No,
dying.
no,
What
they
gonna
definitely
die for?
had me. They definitely had me in the first half, but I was like, yo, them knockers gonna show up and they gonna do some damage too. Because I was just like, ain't no way this arc after all this
I
death,
was like, we on an island. I was like, there's no way they're gonna appear out here.
they they found a way. Remember, they're always chasing that boy.
Oh, this shit is wild. This shit is wild. So yeah, I was really shocked. How the whole Prison Island thing like kind of went down. I was getting some like One Piece ish vibes a bit when they introduced like Tonari and like the talk about ships and shit. I was like, oh, hold on.
No, I didn't get that. I didn't pick
Yeah,
up on
you get
that.
the gum fruit and the.
I actually thought Hayase was trying to get Fushi's like powers.
Oh yeah, you thought that?
Yeah, because then she like take some of his blood or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, never mind.
Yeah, so I say she first was like worshiping. She was like part of the village people that was like taking over the other village where March and Perona was at.
Yeah,
And how I say they in their village they like worship like this big god basically. So it's really interesting how I say she moves from like, oh yeah, he could turn, from like their one god and then goes to like, Fushi.
oh yeah, like fell in
Who can
love.
turn into her god.
And I was wondering too, like when she made that face when she first saw him, she like kind of made a face where like she shivered and like had kind of like a weird face, but it's like I couldn't pinpoint what emotion it was. But then they touched back on it before. I was like, oh, that was love. I was like, you fell in love with him? I was like, that's weird. Okay, sure.
What happened to her? He let her like go on a boat tied up or some shit.
Bro, yeah, he left her on a boat, created a boat, and left her tied up and was like, look, I didn't, I don't know how I got here. I wasn't paying attention. If you want to live, you're gonna have to figure it out. And then that knocker core climbed onto the boat and clearly like jumped into her body. So now she's gonna have powers. Apparently she's gonna have powers, and she's gonna be. I don't know. I feel like she's crazy enough to be able to control the knocker. So maybe she'll get some of their abilities or something like that. Because you remember it was like crawling into her arm, and she like let it go in there, and then she grabbed it, and she was talking to it. She was talking to it and got it to stop. I'm like, yo, this chick is on another level of insanity.
I have no clue what's about to come out of that. But that's the I think that's why I like the series so far like a lot, because like it was super unpredictable in the terms of like where it was going. You knew that Fushi was gonna like gain some transformation, but you didn't really know that like how it was gonna happen, how it was gonna go down. You really did not know. That's why I really like the unpredictable aspect of it. You can't really pinpoint like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. It's a wrap. Yeah, you knew the knockers were gonna come back, but you don't know how much damage they're gonna do, who they're gonna kill.
Right. They're gonna kill somebody. Bro, that's the thing, bro. Every time I met some new people, I was just mad because they killed him. And I was like, because Gugu was like, that was my guy, bro. That was the only knock I could say on the show. Is like, man, they really went there with the killing of the characters. And it definitely made it hard to like push through from time to time. Like I literally had to watch like one episode a day. I was like, man, but by the time I got to the later episodes, I was able to like binge the rest. But yeah, man, it was pretty good. I'd highly recommend. I mean, if you're still listening at this point, you've been spoiled, but
there's so many good moments in the show that you can't really even like. I mean, I highly recommend it. Like, it's hard, like you said earlier, to like recommend something that's like so sad and dramatic at the same time. Every death feels like it's like your best friend like dying too. It just feels like we've grown to love these characters
in such a short time too.
In such a short time, you get to know so much about their lives, and it's a wild ride. Yeah, it truly is a roller coaster. So I'm really happy, and it's crazy how like people actually checked out because there was like a narrator, which is weird. Like
people checked out because there was a narrator. Like they stopped watching because there's what are you talking about? That's like the best, dude. The best part of Hunter x Hunter's third arc was that fucking narrator narrating every single detail. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Because there's a narrator? Like, well, that's like I don't know. That's an oddly specific complaint because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that has narrators in it, and it's like maybe not a lot, but
does One Piece have a narrator? Sorry, from the beginning of the episode and the ending of the episode.
Okay, I'm wrong. There's not a lot of stuff with narrators in it. That's just to me. That's just oddly specific, I guess. That would be like a turnoff for you. It's not like it's if anything, because the narration is just recapping the last episode for you. It's never like really like it's either recapping the episode for you or giving you some kind of context to like what Fushi's going through in the moment, and that's only like from time to time, and it's usually like when he's like not able to talk or anything like that. That's like when the narration is heavy, but I feel like later on in the show it's not as heavy. It's usually just in the opening just to give you
and we get some time skip-ish moments too in the anime as well, which is really interesting.
I know you love them time skips.
Those time skips, yeah. But the way they use it though, because we're going through Fushi's life, right? Obviously not every part of his life is going to be filled with amazing memories and like death and destruction, right? Like every single second and minute,
Right.
So I see how like the narration and the time skips really are needed, but it's even more interesting because the narrator is actually part of the story itself.
Yeah.
So, and it seems like he's telling it almost in
As it's happening.
as it's happening. Yeah. That's what it really seems like. So I just think it's really this is so good. Honestly, we're gonna need a second season has been announced. Will premiere October
Oh,
2022.
bro, they announced that right at the last episode, right when
Yeah,
the last opening.
dude.
They're like, "Hey, just so you know, it's coming back.
And we coming back." I was like, "Oh!"
Just keep that animation the same and keep that story going, and we're good."
Hell fucking yes. Oh fucking yes. Anything else before we wrap up? I know this is a little shorter.
Nothing.
We haven't did like a shorter episode in a while.
Just this is an interesting tidbit, I guess, since we are in a spoiler portion. I counted the deaths and the amount of characters in the show. So there's 20 named characters, and out of this, I'm not including the boy at the beginning, because if we go with that, then there's 21 characters. But he's not named, so I'm not counting him. And out of those 20 characters, 8 of these characters died in the show. And out of those 8, 4 of them were significant characters that were close to Fushi. And I just so happen to have an attachment to him too. Like all the characters I like got fucking murked, bro. I was like, really? Oh, bro.
So
and last thing too, we didn't talk about like how the very emotional scenes when people die and they're realizing that they're dead. If that doesn't hit you in the feels and makes you like at least a little teary-eyed or just feel something, I don't know what. Like them just seeing that and realizing like, oh no, like March being like, I want to grow up. Like, no, like let me back. And then you get the Perona just so happens to like apologize to her and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, you know, they're seeing that and experiencing it too. So like it's like they're kind of there before they pass on. I thought those parts were really like, even though I was upset about them being dead, I was glad they gave that because that was like some pretty good closure on the character. But
that was good actually. I didn't think about that as like closure on a character, but that was next level shit. I was like, damn, because I'd be like, I know when it happened the first time with March, I was like, yo, where are we right now? Is this really in isekai right now? Like, what's going on?
yeah.
And then I'm like, and then I realize, and then the character also realizes that like they're dead, and it's like, fuck.
No, anytime he transforms back into March, he got that arrow in his back, and you're just like, ugh.
That is wild. But yeah, that's a weird note to leave this episode off on. Where can people find you at, Jacuz?
Oh, a joke. You can find me on Instagram, Jacuz, Jacuz. Put a period after everything except the Z.
And then
where can people find you?
Obviously, y'all can find me anywhere on anything like hot sauce. You can find me here on the podcast, actually. We still grinding over on twitch.tv/ShoryukenPizza. We'll be moving on over to YouTube. We're still making videos right now. We got a lot of content for y'all, a lot of content for y'all on the YouTube. And then of course the podcast. We're on Spotify, Anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts. Please be sure to rate and review. We got a whole message system on Anchor.fm. Y'all can send us a message and we will play that shit. We'll play it. But definitely rate and review on Apple Podcasts to keep that podcast ecosystem flowing. I think that was about it. Why did you like giggle right there?
Because you always say keep that podcast ecosystem going.
The podcast ecosystem, yeah, it's like podcasting is like, it's like such a big thing in like a smaller community. I don't know, but it's becoming bigger. You're starting to see a lot more people will get into podcasting.
Oh yeah, definitely,
especially in 2020.
That's like one of the career avenues that NBA players go on now, is just do podcasts
wow.
like afterwards. And some NBA players have podcasts that go on like right now, like they'll do it like during the season and stuff, like on their off days. Pretty cool.
That's
Podcasting
really
is nice,
rad.
and it's better than NBA media, because NBA media be on some talk about two teams type shit and starting drama. And it's just
Anyway.
yeah, my bad.
Anyway.
We are an anime and a video game podcast.
Yep. And we'll see y'all next time on the mountain.
The Geek Mountain.
Mountain. Peace, y'all. Cool. Awesome.